I'm Vanelle, your host for Access Cinema, where filmmaking is not just an art, but it is a lifestyle. I am here today with Russ Willey and Kayleigh Stover, the writer, director, and star of an amazing, amazing piece. It's a short film. It's called Lost Souls. It really is such a relevant piece to what is happening in society today. There's hundreds of thousands of children in the foster system, and so many of those just are unaccounted for or get lost in the system. What for you, what made you want to do this project and address that issue?
Well, as you said, there are thousands of kids who get lost in the system. I felt that me being a foster child myself, I was one of the fortunate ones to get out, lucky, as I say, but there are kids who get abused every day and there's no help for them. Well, they feel there's no help for them. And I wanted to make this film to show them or to show a friend of theirs that if they see someone in trouble, like that way, not just the foster care system, but any child in trouble, that it's not good to keep that type of secret, which is shown in the film where the star, Kayleigh here, asks her friends, you can't tell anybody what's happened to me at home. And they say, okay, we will. They'll keep the secret. Where sometimes keeping a secret can be bad. And that's part of the story of the film, the point of the film.
So Russ, I've known you for years. We've worked together. I don't think I ever knew that you grew up in the foster care system.
Well, it's something that I don't forthcome saying that, yeah, I was a foster care system. It wasn't that my parents didn't, love me or want me or anything. It's just my mother passed away when I was young and basically went from family member to a foster home to being out on my own. And the story is based on a friend of mine that was in the foster care system. And a lot of the scenes in the film were actually portrayed, it came from the real life incident. And it just needed to be said, needed to be shown.
Was it a little therapeutic for you at all, or?
It was very much therapeutic. I hadn't thought about Michelle in years, and that's the little girl that the story is based on. And I was having a medical procedure, and I woke up the next day, and it was like a flood of emotions just hit me, and all I could think about was her and her life and what she's doing now and the things that she went through. And it was the only way I could get it out of my system, is I felt depressed for some reason, and I didn't know why. And I started writing her story, and it just kept evolving, and then I was at peace with it when we started making the project.
So it was time. And is she aware of the film?
I have sent her a copy of the film. The only thing I've gotten back was a text emoji of a smiley face. Okay. So I don't know if it's still just too raw, knowing that it was based on her life or not. But we still keep in touch here and there.
Okay. And so, Kayleigh, obviously, these were big shoes to fill for you. Oh, yes,
of course.
So you have been acting for how long?
I would say around, I think, 10 years now, or 8.
So you just started high school.
Yes, ma'am.
So you were little.
Oh,
you were
yeah.
a little girl. When did you and Russ meet?
Ooh.
I think at one of the local film meetups.
Yeah.
Because you and Rachel Wilson and Ella were all hanging out, and I had worked with Rachel on a project, and I met you guys, and I just fell in love with all three of you guys. I sort of like adopted you as daughters.
So what made you know Kayleigh was Michelle, or the role?
We had worked on a little short series called Word Detective, which you may know a little bit about.
Just a little.
And I had a small role as a hot dog vendor, and when I was doing my lines, and It's funny, I'm going to embarrass her a little bit, but I had to say hot dogs, and how she repeated hot dogs with this, her eyes were just so humongous and so with that.
Because she has these
plastic.
big, gorgeous
Right.
eyes.
And she's just like, hot dogs, hot dog, hot dog. And it just literally, I was right there. It reminded me so much of Michelle and her big brown eyes. It's like, there she is.
So talk a bit about when Russ presented you this opportunity. You read the script. What were your initial feelings about it?
Well, I think, even just being in middle school at the time, now being in high school though, relating to that story that was a lot, just because so many girls and so many other people around the world just getting abused. It's something hard to bring about in today's society just because they're ashamed or embarrassed of what people else are going to say. So, of course, it was big shoes to be put in, But I loved the story, and I loved how it was so relevant to today's society.
Do you feel like you learned something from the character?
Oh, yeah. I think I learned, I can't personally relate to being abused, but, knowing other people's story and Michelle and everything, I think it was really eye-opening to me and to everyone in society.
Did you guys spend a lot of time talking about the character and talking about you growing up in foster care, what that was like? Was there a lot of conversation to kind of help her along?
I talked to her a little bit about what the foster care system was like and things that going on, but I never mentioned to her that I was in the foster care system.
Okay.
That's just something that, I wasn't ready to speak out that, hey, I was in the system, but I made it out. There are a lot of successful stories in the foster care system, so I'm not putting the foster care system down whatsoever. There does need to be some work in the system. I can actually proud to say that North Carolina has made leaps and bounds with their foster care system. In other states, families can have up to 8 or 10 kids in their foster care. And they're just doing it for the paycheck that they get from the government. Well, North Carolina is one of the few states now where they limit the amount of children that you can have. Not saying that, you have so many you can't take care of them, but with the limited amount of children you have, it's easier for the caseworker to check in on them.
Right.
And that was, I can proud to say that North Carolina is one of the good states that are thinking about the kids.
Okay. So Kayleigh, tell me about, after you did this role and you've seen it, how has it impacted you?
Oh, it's impacted me in many ways, just seeing, knowing people too that have been in these types of situations is just, it's heartbreaking first of all, but it's also just, of course, eye-opening, and seeing what these people actually go through and knowing they feel ashamed. I need to step up and say something and take action and not just let them sit there in agony and pain, I need to step up, and everyone needs to step up and take action in what's actually happening in today's world.
Do you think it's made you more aware of people's
definitely.
behaviors?
Oh yeah, if anybody's, shying away from their friends or just, acting different, you need to ask, you need to step up and say, hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? Should I go get an adult?
Right.
We need to take action as kids and adults, and kids need to go to the adults and say stuff like that,
So now that you've completed this, is it out there in film festivals? Is it?
We have entered it in a few film festivals. We've got a little bit of recognition. She got nominated for Best Actress,
Nice.
which made me feel
Congratulations.
good.
Thank you.
I got nominated for Best Screenplay.
Okay.
Fortunately, didn't win anything, but to me, just getting the film out there is what mattered to me. I don't care if we never win a thing, as long as it gets out there and it raises awareness about the situation, because there are still many problems that can be fixed in the foster care system. And if I can get one child just to come to her parents or to an adult and say, hey, my friend Susie or Bill, there's something going on at home. He's being hit or he's being abused. Not even by their foster care
Right.
person. It could be by their parents. If they can just step up and say, yeah, I know they asked me to keep it a secret, but I can't. And if that helps one child, then the film was worth it.
You've done it, yes. So let's talk about just the whole putting it together, you deciding who was going to work on this with you.
Well, when I was writing the story, I had already had in mind the people I wanted for those characters. So working, each one of the people in the story I have worked with on set in film, so I sort of knew what range they had and what ability they had, so I would tailor their script to them, still keeping the story intact. And as Kayleigh is aware of, on set, I asked him to do the script how I wrote it, and then if it didn't sound natural, okay, do it your way. How would you come out with those words? And I would have to say 80% of the script is ad lib.
Wow.
They followed my guidelines, but they put their spin on it, and I think the film was better for that.
And that's amazing that you did allow them to still creatively have input into the character, so it's a more organic character.
Well, I learned a long time ago from a couple other directors and actresses and I listen to when people talk when I go to different film meetings and meetups, and I actually do pay attention to them. I'm not just there to eat and drink and be merry.
Right.
I want to meet, I want to learn. And they told me, an actress told me once, I feel better, I can do a better job if I don't have to read off a script. I can have my lines memorized, but sometimes the lines don't make sense to me.
Right. They're not natural. Yeah.
And they don't feel natural coming on my mouth. So I kept that in the back of my mind. Yes, as long as you can get the few keywords that I wrote, I'm fine with them ad-libbing. I mean, yes, we have to pull it back sometimes, but it made them feel comfortable, and it was a touchy subject to do. So that's why I let that happen.
Now, Kayleigh, how did you get into acting in films?
Well, I started off with more theater and just, acting, and I worked at a little place, I forget what it's called, but I would always do little theaters there. And then also just growing up, just like seeing people on TV, which is very corny, but I seriously was like, wow, like I want to do that, And it's just something I'm very passionate about, so I just enjoyed seeing people up there, and I was like, that seems very interesting.
And you think you want to keep pursuing?
Yes, I would love to. When I grow up, I would like to be a psychologist, but of course, have acting on the side. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and something I'm very fortunate to have in my life. Just stepping into all these different shoes with any film I do is very interesting in general.
Now, are you doing theater in high school?
I'm not. No, I'm not doing any theater right now, but I am working on some projects that are in some film festivals right now.
Okay.
And just keeping up my grades and
See?
stuff. Yeah.
Busy girl.
Yes.
And Russ, when I met you, you were doing makeup on that. And I'm not trying to pigeonhole in. I'm just saying when I met you, that's what you were doing.
Right.
So how did you go, what was that transition like going from, which by the way, he didn't just do makeup. He may have been the makeup guy, but he was hustling. Russ on a set, you tell him to pick something up, he'll pick it and move it, and he'll do whatever. He's amazing to have on a set. So how did that evolve into you saying, I'm going to direct something, I'm going to write something, and I'm going to direct something?
Well, at first, I wasn't going to direct it. I was just going to write it, and then I was going to throw it around to a couple directors I know. And I was sitting there talking with my lovely wife, Ann. I have to give her a plug because without her,
Because she'll kill you. No.
I've shown her how to. No, because without her, I couldn't have done what I do.
Right.
Working in film or anything. Without her and her support, I couldn't
Yes.
do anything. I sat there and talked to her, and I was telling her all the story because I even kept a lot of my past from her being in the child care system. I buried that. It wasn't that it was a rough time in my life, and you like to bury things that aren't happy, and that's the natural process. And I was talking to her, and I was telling her who I was thinking about wanting to direct my film. And she said, well, I'm going to tell you this, knowing you for over 20 years, you will not be happy with your project. And I says, well, nothing against her. I says, but you don't know anything about film, dear. You just watch movies. She says, I know how passionate you have been with this project. And I've never seen you this focus on one certain goal without doing 20 other things. This is all you've been doing for the last 4 months. You haven't wanted to do anything. You concentrate writing. She says, so whether it's good or bad, but you should direct it.
So she may not know movies, but she knows her husband.
She knows me, that's correct. And she said, and she was right, I don't think I could have had anybody else direct it because I don't think they could have had my vision for it. And I know a lot of good directors, I just don't think I would have been happy with them.
Yeah, well, I think that was a great decision, especially with something that you are so passionate about. And we're getting ready to view the film, and I think everyone else will see that. Where was this shot?
Well, it was actually shot in Hickory and in Bethlehem, where I'm from. I had tremendous support from the community, which we don't do a lot of films up there because a lot of the films are done in Charlotte and in Winston. But Hickory really opened up. And I do have to give a lot of credit to North Wilkesboro. The film person up there, Terry Parsons, was just awesome finding the location for the school where a lot of the dramatic scenes take place. And it was just the whole community, when they found out about the story, were just like, yeah, what do you need? What can we do for you to make it happen?
Wow, so it just really came together. It was meant to be.
Yes, and I could not think and can't thank the crew and the cast enough because we put in some long hours and some hot days. It's supposed to be the coolest day of the summer, and it was 91 degrees at 10 a.m.
Wow, wow.
So
lots of water on the set.
lots of water on the set and doing something that is really taboo in the filmmaking, having to stop constantly.
Yeah.
But I did do that. Every 10 minutes we were stopping for a break. Yes, it made for a long day, but I had super troopers, so.
Yeah. How many days of shooting?
We actually were able to complete it all in 3 days.
Okay, wow. 3 long days?
Yeah, it was 3 long days.
In the dog days of summer?
Yeah, it was definitely the dog days of summer.
But everybody stayed cool?
Yeah, we had no egos. Everybody, that was one thing I could say. Everybody checked their ego at the door.
And do you think that's because the nature of the project, everybody had a bit of a heart for it, the message and all of that, that everybody maybe kind of took a step back from themselves? Or do you think that was just the people you worked with?
I want to say it was just the people I worked with because most of them I do know, and I know a lot of them don't have egos. But in the other hand, I want to say it was the project because I did see how much passion that everybody put into it. So I want to say it was probably 50-50.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to watch Lost Souls, and then we're going to come back and talk about it a little bit more, all right?
All right.
All right, and grab your popcorn and enjoy. I got mine right here. And I don't share.
She doesn't.
Okay, Jasmine, now watch out for the cars, honey, okay?
Okay, Miss Ella, have a nice day.
Okay, honey, thank you.
Good morning, Miss Ella. Hey, Sherry, can I spend the night at your house tonight? No, not tonight. Please? Please? I said no. I have to clean my room. Please, let him have a good day. Please, let him have a good day. Please, let him have a good day.
I thought I told you to come straight home. You think you can disobey me now?
No, please.
I'll show you, you little brat!
I'm sorry! No, please, no!
Why do you make me do this to you?
Ow! Please, no!
You brought this on yourself!
Does everybody remember the drill I taught yesterday? All right, we're going to do the same thing today. So everybody get into positions. Does everybody remember who you're throwing to?
Hey.
Okay. Who are you throwing to?
Do you want to come play? I don't feel like it.
Kim, Kelly, come
Please,
on.
just one game. Okay, fine, just one, only one. Okay.
We're running. Get into position. You ready? Go.
Kelly, it's yours. You got this. Hey, wait up. Are we still on for tonight? Yeah. You guys are coming too, right? Yeah. You'll see me. Cool. She seems really excited. Yeah, I know. It's like she doesn't want to go home. Do you blame her? How many kids live there? 10? 20? Did you guys see the new boy today?
Yes. Oh my God, he's so hot.
Yeah, but Tommy told me he has a girlfriend.
Oh, dang it.
Okay, girls, time for bed.
Okay, Mom.
Why aren't you getting dressed? Didn't you bring PJs?
No, I forgot them. You can borrow some of mine.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened? Are you all right?
Yeah, seriously, what did you do?
What did you do? I fell down the stairs.
Come on, we all know you can't get bruises like that from falling down the stairs.
Yes, you do. Now leave me alone.
Seriously, what did you do?
Just leave me alone.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. You can stay away from home.
Bye. See you later.
You're welcome, girls.
Thank you.
Tell your parents it's their turn back.
That 50-page essay is brutal.
I thought she was nicer than that. I know, right? I tried to ask her.
What happened? I fell down and hurt my knee. Come on.
Kelly, what's wrong? You're always hurting yourself. You're the most clumsy person I know.
Yeah. What's up with that big bruise on your back? I told you I fell.
We don't believe you.
Okay. I'll tell you. But you can't tell anyone.
You can tell us.
You have to promise.
Okay. Okay.
He doesn't mean it. He really loves me.
Who?
Who doesn't mean it? My foster parent, Todd. But I make noises when he has a headache or has a bad day. Remember, you can't tell anyone.
We won't.
Okay, but you can't stay at your house. You're staying at mine. Yeah, and tomorrow you can stay at mine. Okay, but I don't have any clothes.
You can borrow ours.
We have plenty. Well, you can't stay at my house tonight. My mom said no.
Yeah, my mom said no too. I know. You can stay here and hide out. You can take showers and get food from the cafeteria.
But what if I get caught? Well, either stay here or go home. And I know you don't want to go home.
Hey, have you seen Kelly? She's been gone for days.
Oh, well, she was here a few days ago for the sleepover. I thought you knew about that.
That's right. I forgot all about that.
Well, if you need our help, we could call some of her friends, see if she's over there.
You know what? She's a teenage girl. They're always spending the night at each other's houses. I can't keep up with them.
Don't I know that? Well, let us know if we can help.
Well, if you happen to hear anything, could you give me a call?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So have you seen Kelly?
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, why didn't you say something today?
I didn't think about it. I just didn't.
Honey, her father is looking for her. That could have been helpful information. Is there something going on you're not telling me about?
No, everything's all right. Trust me.
Okay. You know, if there's something you want to talk about, I'm here for you, right?
Thanks, Mom.
Okay.
This is really hard.
Oh my God. What happened to you? What happened to you?
Please don't tell. They'll send me back. I don't want to go back.
Where, honey? Where don't you want to go? Okay, it's okay. Go ahead and get dressed. And then you and I are going to talk.
Did this to you. Look, you can trust me. I'm not going to let anyone ever hurt you like that again, but you have to tell me who it is.
He will. I can't. I can't tell you. He'll find me.
No, he won't. Look, I can protect you, but you have to tell me who it is.
Okay. It's Todd.
Who's Todd? Honey, tell me, who is Todd?
He's my foster parent.
Is that why you've been hiding out here?
Yes.
How long have you been here?
Just a few days.
I'm going to make a phone call, all right?
Okay. Tonight you're going to come home with me. And tomorrow we'll see what we can do to help you, okay?
Thank you.
So, what do we have here today?
We have a problem.
Kelly, what happened now? Did you fall again?
No, she didn't. She has a big problem at home, and we need to help her.
What's going on?
It's okay. Go ahead. Just tell him.
I don't want to. Please don't make me.
Kelly, what's wrong? If you don't tell me, I can't help.
I don't know. If I do, I'll get in trouble.
Kelly, just tell him. Honey, if you don't tell him, I will.
No, don't.
Her foster father's abusing her. Look at her arm.
What happened? Tell me. That's not right. Has he hit you? Because if he does, I can do something.
Well, yes, but I make him mad.
I have a friend in child welfare. Why don't we give him a call and see what he has to say? Okay? Okay, thanks. Well, he said they'd have to open an investigation on it. And she has to go home. We cannot legally keep her.
No, I don't want to go back home. Please don't make me.
Listen, Kelly, it's okay. A social worker's going to come and visit every week. They're here to help. And you have to be completely open with them. Because if they see anything wrong, they'll take you away and they'll arrest him. All right?
Can I help you?
I'm the social worker. I had an appointment to see you today.
Oh, that's right. Come right on in.
Thank you.
I think you'll see that we're all one big happy family here.
I think I'll be the judge of that.
Oh, everybody loves everybody here.
Oh, that's great. Hi.
Hi.
Well, the house looks good, but I am going to need to speak with Kelly alone.
Absolutely.
You can see that we're one big happy family.
Yep. Like I told you. Come here, girl. Everybody loves everybody here.
That's awesome. But I still need to speak with her alone.
Okay.
Mommy, can we have some ice cream?
Not right now, sweethearts.
Aww.
Twirl. Okay. Why don't you come on over here and sit down? We'll have a talk. So, how are you?
I'm okay. Todd has been really nice to me lately. I think you really scared him off. Everyone's been so nice to me.
Well, that's a start, but I have some really amazing news for you. Kim's mom, Tina, called me, and they want to adopt you.
Really? Are you for real?
I'm for real. Yep, I kid you not. Now, it's going to take a little time because I have some paperwork to do, but I think it's going to happen.
Great. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
I will too, hon. Yes, that's right. We'll be picking her up on Friday to meet with the prospective parents. So have her ready by 5 p.m. Thank you. Bye.
Come in. Door's open.
Kelly missed my class this morning. I'm sorry, I'm worried.
Okay. I'll call Diane, let her know.
Thank you.
Hello, Diane. Hi, it's Mr. Clark. Just wanted to let you know that Kelly wasn't in her class this morning. And we're worried.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there's no problem. Her foster mother called yesterday, and she said she was going to keep her home so they could, have some quality time before she leaves.
Well, thank you for the update. Bye now. She's on the job.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to need to move the car.
No.
Stay behind the tape. This is an active crime scene.
I'm Kelly's social worker. I need to see her right away, immediately.
Come here. Listen. We don't know the whole story yet, but he went ballistic.
Oh, my God, no.
It's not pretty.
Oh, Kelly.
I'm sorry.
He's going to pay for it.
What are you looking at? Damn bunch of vultures.
No.
Man, this is a shame. Yeah, so young. Makes the day hard.
Breaking down the doors. We were meant for more. This is not our home. We know no fear. To water, wood, and stone. Here we come. This is not our home. We know no fear. The world is ours to roam. 'Cause we are pioneers.
If you suspect child abuse, please call 1-800-4-A-CHILD or 1-800-422-4453.
Beckoning back the freedom of the feet. Hearts swarming, reckless unknown. Cinnamon stuck with stories of breaking down the doors. We were made for more. This is not our home. We know no fear. To water, wood, and stone. Here we come. This is not our home. We know no fear. The world is ours to roam. 'Cause we are pioneers. Oh.
Welcome back to Access Cinema. I am here with Kayleigh Stover and Russ Willey. We just got finished watching just a phenomenal movie, Lost Souls. We talked about it before. There's so much more to talk about now that everyone has seen it. I was trying not to give too much away before we saw it, so now we can really kind of dive into it. Obviously, the ending was different than what it was for your friend Michelle.
Correct.
What made you decide to go with that dramatic of an ending?
I felt that it would drive the point home a lot farther than her being adopted and saved from that situation. I thought it would wake some people up, because that didn't happen with my friend Michelle, but it has happened with other people before. So I wanted to show that part.
Yeah, because we hear these stories all the time. You turn on the news and you hear something, whether they're children in foster care or whether they're just children in homes, with their parents. It's heart-wrenching. And wow, yeah, Lost Souls. Even the name, So obviously on the set, there was everyone knew the importance of what they were doing. Did you, Kayleigh, really get the gravity of what this was?
The impact, yeah.
Yes. So when you're working on something like this, that's so heavy and important, how do you find that balance and not getting lost in it? Like, I am sure, knowing Russ, knowing Kayleigh, knowing some of the other people, that there were shenanigans.
Oh, yes.
Should we talk about the wigs?
The wigs.
Oh, goodness.
I will let the head leader explain this one, too.
Well, we had found some wigs in the closet where we were filming in the bedroom. And, well, me and the girls decided to put the wigs on. And Russ came back.
Okay, I want to know what kind of wigs, though.
Okay, so they were like rainbow wigs, black curly wigs. They were like short ones. We just put it over her hair. I can't remember what the other wigs were, but
long blonde bob.
They were
wigs.
crazy. They were crazy wigs, and
old ladies' wigs.
So they came back, Russ came back and we started filming, and we were being all serious, and we were like, with the wigs on, we were like repeating our lines, and then he told us that they were his.
From my props.
Yes, and we were like, what? We were like, really?
So those were my wigs, and the joke's on you.
Right? I was like, oh my goodness.
So I let them get halfway through the scene, let it film and everything halfway through the scene, and then I surprised that on them.
Yeah.
And then that was it. They could not finish the scene at all.
But sometimes those things are very necessary. Those moments are necessary to kind of break that. Especially, you were working with a lot of young people.
Mm-hmm.
How was that? Because they say don't work with children and animals.
Well, I was actually fortunate with the children I was working with. I had worked with them before, and I've basically adopted them as my children. So if they were to get out of hand, I would just raise my voice like I do to my own son, and they snapped to it. But I did let them, because of the gravity of the film and how much pressure was on them, I could see that. Did I get upset? No, that they were playing jokes. Yeah, I let them joke. I let them have fun. I had to. They had to be kids. In order to do the film right, kids had to play kids in the film.
Yeah.
And so that was a good tension breaker, because it was we filmed that scene on the last day of filming. And it was the first scene in the morning, so they had to get up, and they were still tired from the night before. So I let them have fun. I mean, it's, as I say, it's not all fun and games, but sometimes fun and games on a set can be a good thing.
Yeah. And so what was your takeaway from this project as far as like work with who you worked with? Like, was it an enjoyable experience?
Oh, yes, of course. I met so many new people, and working with them was a pleasure. And just knowing some of them and knowing Russ and stuff, just from working with him, it was a pleasure, and it was amazing. And I definitely had a lot of fun. Of course, the importance of the film was, it was a lot at once, but, being with these people and seeing their positive attitudes about these things it was really amazing.
Do you ever look back at all the work you've done over the years?
Oh, yeah.
Do you see, like, that was cute then. I would never do that,
Right?
Again.
Oh, yeah, of
or
course.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Or, oh, look how much I've grown. Or
definitely, I've seen like a growth in my acting as well, just the films that I've done as well. This film was definitely an icebreaker. This is one of the most important films that I've ever done, just because of the whole main idea of it.
Is it your first dramatic role?
It was definitely the most dramatic role I would say that I have done. Yes, of course. It was a lot, just the gravity of the film. That's the best way to put it. It was a lot.
And when the project was over, sometimes as an actor, when you're in those roles, it can kind of be hard to shake it for a little bit.
Yeah. Watching the film was awesome, just seeing all the hard work that we put in and seeing it, there. It was amazing to see that, but also seeing it really was an impactful film. Seeing that, I was like, wow, all of it put together was amazing, and it was a great feeling as well.
So we were talking earlier a little bit about how great North Wilkesboro was, how the film commissioner was so helpful. What were some of the hurdles you had to deal with, as far as whether it was location or crew or catering, or what are some of those things, so filmmakers can know what are these things that can happen? And
well, the ideal location, there was an ideal location for the school, which was about 2 miles away from one of our other locations, and they had said that we could use the school to film. Well, about a week before we were going to start filming, they got fumigated. And it wasn't on anybody's schedule. The school board says, oh, we need to
It's summer,
fumigate. It's summer, we need to get it done. So I was running around like, oh no, I lost the main location. And I happened to work on a crew that were filming in North Wilkesboro, and I remember I had the film commissioner's card, Mrs. Terry Parsons. And I called her and said, Terry, I'm in a bind. I'm ready to shoot a film, and I need a location for a school. Well, she said, well, Russ, drive right up in here, and we will find something for you. And she took her day off and grabbed the mayor of North Wilkesboro and said, come on, Russ, let's go find you a location. And the second location that we went to was perfect. Went in there and said, here's what we want to do. And they says, well, when will you be here? And I told them, and they said, well, here's the keys. Have fun.
Wow. Now, you told me there was a little bit of a situation with catering and who came and rescued.
Okay, well,
because you can't have hungry cast and crew.
Oh, no.
There will be mutiny on a set if there's not food.
You need to feed them. And you can't feed them pizza all the time.
No.
You can't.
Oh my goodness.
Well, with any film that you do, catering is a big part of it. Because like you said, you have to feed your cast and crew. You can't ask them to do their work on an empty stomach, period. Well, I had a investor who said, don't worry, I'm going to provide all the food for you. And I said, great, one less thing I have to worry about and one less thing I have to raise money for. Well, we were beginning to shoot on Friday, and I called the investor on Wednesday and said, hey, I need the check so I can go and pay and order this food. He tells me, well, I'm sorry, I can't do it now. This is 2 days before we're to shoot. So luckily, like I said, the Hickory community stepped up to plate, and North Wilkesboro stepped up to plate. I told Terry Parsons about my situation. She called the Lowe's Food up there, and they said, come and get snacks and water, whatever you need. Here's a $50 gift card. Come and spend it and feed your cast and crew. Well, I called Backstreets of Hickory. Shameless plug, but I will do anything for them because they came to my film's rescue.
Right.
I went into the owner and didn't ask for a handout. I went up to him, I says, I need a favor. And he says, what? I says, well, this is a situation, I'm doing a film, and I told him about it, and I gave him a copy of the script, and it says, I'm gonna need to feed about 30 people for 3 days, 2 meals a day. I need a discount. What can you do? Because like I said earlier, without my wife, I couldn't do most of this.
Yeah.
She gave me her credit card and said, get food.
Yeah. Wow.
Which we had planned on not using our own credit cards to do it, but sometimes you just have to.
Right.
And he says, well, we can take care of you. Just give us an hour ahead of time and I'll provide food for you, which the food was excellent. He said, we will settle up on the following Monday. The following Monday comes around and I go to see him and I'm like, okay, what is this? What is it going to be? And he says, I'm doing my passion, which is cooking. And I know one of your passions is making a film. And I see how much this film meant to you. I am donating the food to your film.
Wow.
So there was absolutely no charge at all. Wow. And I don't cry a lot. And right now I'm starting to tear up just because of he thought of the project and me, of my passion, and said, take this, I don't care.
Wow.
So,
yeah. So like I said, this was meant to be. It was meant to be. So I want to talk about what you're doing outside of this film. You told me that you are teaching at a battered women's self-defense.
I'm working with a couple groups, which I'm not going to name the names because we want to keep private due to their safety.
Right.
I go in and I sit and listen to their stories of battered women, and there's actually battered men in there as well. It's not just a one-sex issue anymore.
Right.
And after there, I offer self-defense classes to them if they would like them. I have a few that have started to take me up on the offer to help protect themselves. And I'm hoping more and more will do it. It's my way of giving back to the community, and I feel that personally, no one has the right to lay their hand on another human being, whether it be male, female, boy or girl. There's no reason for it.
And so we didn't really talk too much about it, but Russ has a background in martial arts.
Yes.
And that is actually leading into what your next project, current/next, because it has been evolving. Tell me a little bit about that.
I'm actually starting a documentary called Martial Arts in America. And with me doing that one, it can be turned into 3 different documentaries. Me being an independent filmmaker, budgets are tight. I can use some of the interviews for the 3 different martial arts documentaries. With the first one, I'm going to travel around to 5 states and interview real martial artists. And what I mean about real martial artists is people that do it for a living, but they don't do it for the money. They do it for the passion. There are things out there called McDojos, where you can go in.
I can already guess what that is.
Yes. You can go in and have your black belt in a year or under a year.
Yeah.
Which, if you are a true martial artist, it takes years of practice, years of dedication to get it.
Well, pretty soon you'll be able to just go online and, get your black belt.
Yeah, there are actually online schools for that right now.
Wow, I was joking.
No, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, I don't think we're far from
You can
that.
take their course online and go to their camp for a weekend and come out with a black belt.
Okay, well, there you go.
So that's not what I'm about. Martial arts teaches you discipline, self-confidence, and the key is never give up.
How old were you when you first started?
I started when I was 7 years old.
Okay.
So going on 43 years of doing martial arts.
So on set, did you teach any of the girls?
We horsed around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
With all of them, like I said, I adopted them as my children, and I want them to be protected and be safe. So I did show them a few self-defense moves against their soon-to-be boyfriends or never boyfriends.
Yes, we discovered that Kayleigh went on her first date. Yes, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
You know what else I want to talk about is the fact that I heard when you were in the show Kid Time and they asked you what your talent was, it was that you could roll your belly. I will not make you do that now.
I could, yeah.
I will not make, because you're not, 7 years old, 8 years old now. So, but what would you say is your talent now, outside of acting?
Outside of acting,
Talking on the phone isn't one of them.
No, I don't know. I don't on the spot. I'm not really sure, but I do enjoy talking to people, not in the film, but in real life, and just connecting in real life and talking. Like if one of my friends is down, I want to come and save them. Really, just like make them have a good day. Which maybe it's not a talent, but I do enjoy doing that, and that's one of the reasons.
I was going to say, I disagree. It is a talent. It is a gift for you to pick somebody's spirits up. That it does take that type of person.
And I think that's another reason why I just want to be in psychology and help people and help girls that have been through these things in the film as well. Just helping them in general and in life if they need anything, and be there for them.
Something I'll share with you that at work we were talking about in my day job, and I came up with it, and it just hit me that that passion plus gift equals purpose. And it sounds to me like maybe you have found your purpose.
Thank you.
I know Russ has. He's been consistent.
Oh, yeah.
He's been consistent with it. So before we wrap up, Kayleigh, I want you to look at that camera, and I want you to talk to your generation after having worked on this film, and I want you to tell your generation what you want them to know, what you want them to take away from this.
We need to take away in today's society that these things are hard to step up in, and we need to realize that these people might be embarrassed to talk about these things, and they don't want to go to adults and tell them. So us as friends and seeing these people at school if they start to shy away from you, go up to them. It's an easy question to say, are you okay? Do we need to talk? Do you need an adult around? And if they do, go get an adult. It's not that hard. You just need to go tell them and say, hey, I really think maybe we should pay attention more to this person and see maybe what they're going through. And that can help. And it, you know, if you lose a friendship because of it, you might be saving a life. So at the end of the day, you may have saved a life. You may not get the friendship, but you help someone, which is very important.
Wow, very well said. Thank you. Thank you so much, Russ. Thank you so much, Kayleigh. I'm excited to see what you guys do in the future. Please keep in touch,
of course,
okay?
yes.
And thank you, everyone out there, for joining us. And write us. Let us know what you thought about Lost Souls. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep watching great film.